The class clown humiliated me, thinking I was just a substitute teacher, not knowing I was the principal. I was starting as the new principal next week, and instead of making a grand entrance, I wanted to spend my first week observing classes quietly to see the real culture, not the show people put on for the boss. Nothing could have prepared me for the sophomore English class, where I met the kid whose father sat on the school board, the one teachers warned me was untouchable. I opened the door, and the doorstop he'd balanced on top came crashing down on my head, clattering to the floor. The class erupted in stifled laughter. In the back corner, he was dying, bent double, tears streaming, shoulders shaking with silent laughter. He kept looking up at me, seeing the red mark on my forehead from his trap, then dissolving again. I calmly picked up the doorstop, set it aside, and wrote Mr. Lewis on the board. Behind me, he was still choking on laughter, occasionally snorting, which set everyone off again. I started the lesson when he raised his hand, asking if substitutes got paid by the hour or by the day. Wondered aloud if I could afford lunch or if they should take up a collection. The class snickered. Every few minutes, another interruption. Comments about my thrift store clothes, jokes about my handwriting looking broke, stage whispers about whether I lived in a weekly motel or my car. Each remark calculated to get laughs while undermining any authority I might have. I was writing vocabulary on the board when he simply walked up, grabbed the eraser, and wiped everything clean. Returned to his seat like nothing happened. The class laughed nervously. I rewrote the material. 5 minutes later, he did it again, this time erasing random words. Then it became his game, waiting until I'd written something important and casually destroying it. Due dates, page numbers, instructions. Eventually, I gave up writing anything substantial. When I handed out worksheets, he made an announcement about how substitutes couldn't actually grade anything, how this was all optional, no consequences. He demonstrated by slowly crumpling his paper and dropping it in the trash. His friends followed immediately. The hesitant students got personal visits from him. He reassured each one that nothing would happen. His dad was on the board. He'd take responsibility. Even the grade-conscious kids eventually walked up and trashed their work. All 30 worksheets ended up in the bin. The last 20 minutes were chaos. Students wandering freely, music playing, someone tossing a football. He sat on my desk like a king surveying his domain. 5 minutes before the bell, I made the mistake of opening my lunch. He snatched the sandwich from my hands, unwrapped it, took a bite, made a disgusted face, and spit it in the trash. Then grabbed my entire lunch bag and dumped it. Sandwich, apple, granola bar, water bottle, everything. The bell rang. He took a bow to applause. I told him to report to the principal's office. What he didn't know was that he'd be seeing me again in that office. So he strutted into the office explaining how the substitute lost control, how it wasn't his fault, mentioned his father's board position twice before even looking up. The chair faced the window. He kept talking to the back of it, laying out his defense. I turned around slowly. Same coffee-stained shirt, same red mark from his doorstop trap, same papers he'd watched me gather from the floor. He stopped mid-sentence, stared at me behind the principal's desk. The substitute teacher was sitting in the principal's chair. His face went white and hands started trembling. The kid who'd spent 45 minutes destroying my authority had just realized he'd done it all to his new principal. No more mentions of his father, no more excuses, just dawning horror at what he'd done. Please, he started begging. Please don't call my parents. My dad will. You don't understand what he'll do. Please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I picked up the phone and dialed the number from his file. Put it on speaker. His father answered on the second ring, voice booming with authority. I calmly explained every single thing his son had done, from the doorstop assault to throwing my lunch in the trash. The silence on the other end was deafening. Then his father's voice, ice cold. I'll handle this. He won't be a problem again. The kid was crying now, real tears. His father continued, promising disciplinary action that made even me wince. Mentioned military school. Mentioned taking away his car, his phone, his entire life as he knew it. After that day, he was a different person. Sat straight in every class. Never spoke out of turn. When we passed in the hallways, he'd practically whisper, "Good morning, sir," while looking at his shoes. Teachers couldn't believe the transformation.